Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I'm feeling less and less. Look, I have no hope for the new James Gunn film. Now, I'm not a Snyder bro, obviously. I'm not one of those people. I mean, I didn't particularly like the Snyderverse films in that they were very dark and grim and that, but they did take the characters seriously, and that was more important to me, or is important to me. So I did like them on one level, but I also had issues with the other level. And the problem now with DC is they're trying to be Marvel, and unfortunately they've gotten James Gunn, who has no idea he has no idea what superheroes are or what people love about them, what works about them. He just thinks they're a joke. He has a juvenile mentality, and he just, I guess, thinks that if he makes a film that's a joke where the characters are just, parodies or just ridiculous, and has a juvenile sense of humor and a juvenile mentality, then like he'll, sell a bunch of tickets to 15-year-olds and the film will be a hit and they'll launch, the DCU and everything. It's like, no, this film's going to crash, it's going to burn, he's going to be blamed for it, and he's not going to care because he's a narcissist, and he's just going to move on to the next thing like, it's all about him. So I have really no hope for this, and just so many things lead to it, like Peacemaker. And also his contradictions. I've been paying a little bit of attention to the things I've been saying recently, and like, for example, he said that Peacemaker wasn't canon, and now he turns around and says, well, actually it is canon except for one scene. It's like they couldn't count the first season as canon because of the Justice League scene. So then he says, no, it's canon except for that scene. It doesn't work like that. I mean, you can't do that to fans. You can't just have things that aren't canon that don't, work with the rest of the series, and just have people, have to sort of cut and paste the things that work and don't, and what are universe, what's in universe, what's canon, what's multiverse. It's bad enough to have multiverses in different universes and different eras, but then to say even those are inconsistent within themselves. And then to also say that this new show, Creature Comforts, which is an animated show, which is stupid. It's basically the Suicide Squad except with old Universal monsters, because they can't use humans, so they go and find monsters. It's stupid. I don't know if it's any good or not. I haven't watched it, but it's stupid. And apparently this is the first canon thing we're seeing from the new universe. We're being told this is canon, this show. So yeah, it doesn't look good. I mean, you don't launch a movie series and a franchise or a universe for a franchise like this on a streaming show, an animated streaming show for a live action movie era. Like, what is it? What are you trying to launch? Yeah, it's just so many things that are just wrong. His attitude with the former Superman, mocking things like when they destroyed Cavill's uniform and stuff like that. He thought that was funny, that when they were doing the auditions for the other Supermen, instead of having them put on some generic Superman costume or have a replica made or something, apparently they use Henry Cavill's real suit, and because they're both different builds than him, and they made out that they were bigger than him, like Henry Cavill was like. So they're baiting. It's like they're baiting the Snyder Bros by trashing Henry. Now, I'm not a big fan of him. He's cute. He seems nice. I don't have any issues with him, but I'm not one of those people who thinks he's God. I do think he got an absolute short end of the stick with just the way they ditched his second Superman film, and then they went to the Justice League and they changed it to the Justice League, and then they sort of cancelled the whole thing, and then they said he was coming back, and they had him do a cameo in Black Adam, whatever it was. I still haven't watched it. I've seen the cameo, but that's it. I think it was in that. And then he told him he was coming back, and he made an announcement to the fans, and then they had to walk it back because they decided to go back on that again. It's just been a complete mess. And then to just sort of mock him on top of that, when it's like he's just trying to trigger the Snyder Bros, and just his attitude to the whole thing. He thinks it's a joke, he thinks it's for fun. He doesn't get that people actually love these characters and they're important to them, and he doesn't get that there should be a generation of children seeing these characters and being inspired to be better like we were, to admire these superheroes and look up to them and want to be like them. There's nothing like that in his superhero sort of world or whatever he's trying to create. It's just cringe and juvenile and lame, and he's just the wrong man to do this. And just the idea of having one person in charge of a whole franchise like this, who isn't the original creator but someone who's come in and has already shown that they actually don't get it, and they've done two films which are very anti-superhero, and then to give them free reign and no one seems to be able to check him, that's just disaster no matter what, because you're just going to get one vision, and if it works, maybe they'll be lucky, but if it doesn't, there's no one else to sort of course correct during, the process as that becomes obvious. So I'm not looking forward to the whole thing, and I just had to have a bit of a YouTube therapy moment with it, because I love Superman, and the idea of him being just done like this is it's just stacked onto all the other sort of insults and disrespect and bitch slaps and turkey slaps that you get from all these franchise owners and studios and everything as a fan, and it just makes you just lose interest.